Hey everybody, it's Matthew. Thanks for watching my channel, Giddy Up Adventures. Today I'm going to talk about something I really wish I didn't have to talk about, but it's becoming a problem. So yeah, this is a big problem and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to pull up to a couple of these campsites and look around a little bit, and I don't want to talk to anybody probably, but I'm going to just take a look and see what we can see. So here's where the guy was camped last week who was camping with his Walmart tents and no car. So you got celery over here, great fire starter, plastic bottles, and a bunch of tins. This is not your garbage dump, dude. And a bunch of canned beans and just trash left out again. Here's another fire pit that can't be used by other people camping because these people thought it's a good place to dump all their shit. Blankets and plastic bottles. Thanks, folks. You ruined it for everybody. Here's another campground with trash. This just looks like they're using it as a garbage dump. There's apples, which aren't great fire starter. There's bagels, several liquor bottles, broken of course, which is great for camping, and motorcycle tires. Fiberglass tent poles. That's a Walmart tent. And yeah, trash. Here's some more trash. More people just dumping probably. So this is some BLM land that I've camped at as well as ridden my motorcycle. And it was getting pretty trashed, and guess what? Area closed to motorized use. You abuse it, we lose it. My sentiments exactly. 2 times in the last couple weeks, I've been trying to camp and ride my motorcycle on the OHV areas out here between Redmond and Sisters at Climb Butte. And not only were the campsites all trashed, but the fire pits are just completely full, so you couldn't have a fire in there if you wanted to, but just full of trash. But then there were some sketchy individuals that didn't have motorbikes, didn't have a car, and they just had a lot of tents. And, you know, I was setting on my camping gear to go camping the first time, and the guy is like yelling at his girlfriend or something, and just seemed pretty sketchy. And then cars would come by every 15 minutes. And they'd stop for just a couple minutes and then leave, so he was probably selling drugs. You know, it frustrates me because all I wanted to do is ride my bike and go camping, and I didn't feel safe riding. If I went out on my bike on the trails, I got cameras, I got a computer in here. So what I ended up doing that first time was camping up in Sisters, and the other time I just went to a different campsite. And but I've seen it's kind of pervasive on BLM land. There's lots of places where this is a problem. And you know, it's not a crime to be poor, and heck, if that was the crime, I'd be guilty as charged most of my life. But the thing that drives me crazy is the litter. The litter. And so I saw what I saw yesterday, and then I went around to some other places I knew, and to the BLM's credit, actually, some of the big encampments over here did get cleaned up. And I went to Lower Bridge Way where there's some BLM land, and those areas are cleaned up too. And so I called the Prineville office of BLM today to just say, hey, what can we do? And he basically said, so here's some things you can do too. You know, when I saw those drug deals going down, I could have called the cops. The only reason I didn't is I was the only other person there, so it wouldn't take a genius for the guy to figure out who called the cops on him. And but I could have called the cops when I left. Another thing you could do is take pictures of the litter and then email them to the BLM office that's appropriate for wherever you're trying to camp. They said that they could actually use those to send people out. And then finally, the most surefire way for me to do what I can about the situation. You know, I can't solve homelessness. I can't solve drug addiction. So what can I do to help me with my frustration? And today, I just started cleaning out those fire pits. So I went and got some heavy-duty trash bags over at Lowe's, and I came up with a few bags. I got 3 bags. Whoa, heavy. And I found this interesting. I found this health drink. It's called Essentials, some sort of health drink, but looks like it's maybe a modified to smoke crack or something. I don't know. But anyways, if I complain about it, that doesn't solve the problem. But if I start picking up trash, I'm actually leaving the place better than I found it. I'm no longer upset because I feel like I, made a difference. And I found a local business in Redmond that said they would take the trash in their dumpster, and they thanked me for picking up trash. But if we all do our part and pick up a little bit of trash each time we go camping, it doesn't take that much time, and then we can keep these areas open for us to enjoy. I've organized several cleanups back in a town I used to live in, and I've noticed that when people see litter on the ground, they feel like, oh, well, what's the big deal if I drop some litter, because there's already tons of it here. And, to the guy that was probably our local meth dealer, he just thinks like, oh, nobody's going to blame me for this big mess because there was already a mess when I got here. So by picking up litter, and if it's pristine, it gets people to think twice. Maybe not everybody, but it'll slow down, the speed at which places get trashed. And it just drives me crazy. It's not just unsightly. People start dumping construction equipment out here, and then you get a nail in your tire. The wildlife can be harmed by it. Some of the birds will take some of the stuff and get tangled up in some of the trash. And so it's I come out to these places to ride because it's so beautiful. And when it's a garbage dump, nobody wins.